What's going on, guys? I am Matthias, and I am no longer CEO of Hi-Fi Studios. I have been ousted by none other than myself. No, so we officially decided on a new name for the company, and I could not be more excited. If you missed the past video, and this is all news to you, this might be a bit of a shock. So that link is in the description below, but I detail and go through all of the reasons why I believe that it is very prudent right here, right now, to rename our company for the future. But TDLR, or W for watch, too long didn't watch. The basic premise is this company is now a new company. We don't have the old mission that we did before. We don't make the content that we used to. We're going in a new direction that the entire staff is super excited for, and we believe that a new name is fitting for this new adventure, this new journey that we're on. So if you remember, I told you a list of names that I had come up with and Amanda came up with. I then asked what you thought of them. I also asked you guys to come up with a bunch of names. And I also did the same thing internally. Then I scoured over the comments to find all of the names that were highly voted and names that I really liked, and I picked the top 3 of those. Then I also looked at all the names the staff came up with, and I picked one name from each person, what I thought was the best name. Then I made a poll of all those names and I sent that out to the staff to get a general consensus of what everyone was feeling. Naturally, this decision that I made is going to affect them, so I wanted to hear what they had to say about it. To be clear, full disclosure, naming the company is my decision. I own the company, and I used all of this information from you guys, all of the inspiration from the staff and you to inform my decision. There's a lot of different factors that go into naming a business, and it's not just the one that sounds the coolest, right? So there's a lot of different factors that I have to take into account before I make this decision. However, it seemed like me, my staff, and you guys seemed to all be aligned on what the best pick, what the most fitting name was, and that name I'm honestly so excited about. So without further ado, the name of this company is no longer Hi-Fi Studios, though it will stay in our hearts and we will cherish that forever. The name of the company now is Spellbound Inc. I honestly could not be more excited. There was a whopping 66% of the votes of the staff for Spellbound Inc. So big shout out to my wife for coming up with that name. You're very creative. I love you. Thank you. But as I scoured the comments looking for names, it appeared over and over, and it seemed there was a really popular general consensus about Spellbound being a really great fit. Here are some of your comments. Spellbound really hits a note with me. Love that so much. We're respectful of the past, but excited about the future. Well said. I absolutely love that. Spellbound is a brilliant name in my opinion. I love the name Spellbound because it reminds me of how my students looked when I started telling them the story of 863. I've all but promised them a marathon of the last few videos of Season 1 before summer break starts. Thank you, by the way. It has been fun with Hi-Fi, but I understand the need for change. The name Hi-Fi was fun, but I really like Spellbound. It sounds magical. I don't want to become lost in stories, I want to find myself in them. The name Spellbound is great because it makes the stories seem like magic. Not that there's any magic as a part of the story, but because of how deep and immersive the universes and the stories they create are. Okay, I couldn't have hit that nail harder if I tried than how you just explained it right there. So thank you very much for that explanation, because that's really what I've been feeling. It's not that our company is always going to create magical stories or stories in alternate universes that are strange and distant. That's not always going to be the case. However, it is going to be the case that we create stories that should make you feel that magic inside the story. Spellbound is fire. Thank you. Spellbound is a really great name. Almost perfect even, but it feels like it could use another word with it. I'm only throwing suggestions, but Spellbound Studios or Spellbound Universe, something like that would seal the deal for me personally. I agree, and that's why we're going with Spellbound Inc., because it's a bit of a nod to one of my favorite companies, which is Pixar Inc. I actually think that Spellbound is an adequate name. It insinuates the fact that watching you guys is like being drawn into a really captivating book or fantasy story. Best of luck in your transition. Thank you all for all of your suggestions, all of your comments, and thank you to the staff for all of the support in helping me make this decision. I could not be more excited. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I'm just really excited to be developing the company that I've always dreamed of developing. It's scary for sure. High Five was fun, but High Five was honestly me playing it a bit safe. It was me doing what I know how to do, and it wasn't me venturing off into uncharted territories to accomplish something that's really close to my heart, which is telling stories that change hearts, telling stories that inspire transformation. It's scary for sure because I don't know how good we're going to be at it, but I have a lot of faith, and you know what? It's worth doing. I also got a few comments that were like, oh, how come Matt is on this story kick now ever since he started writing his book, where that's not the case at all. I've been writing stories since, I don't know, like I think 6th grade, maybe a little bit before that, or 3rd grade. I actually made like a little book. You could buy like the bound books that were totally blank, and I would write stories throughout them. And that's like 6th grade. Story has always been something near and dear to my heart that I've studied and I think been a little too scared to do. And now we're doing it, and still scared, but excited more than anything. Excited that you're a part of this journey here with me in Spellbound Inc. on day one. You were here. I don't think any story will ever be near and dear to my heart as High Five. Maybe Spellbound, but we'll see. I'm just excited that you guys are here to come along. And so to clarify a little bit more about what that future entails, multiple stories. Right now we have one story. Just to clarify, 863, Project 863 is one story. We want to eventually build that out into a world of stories that builds out into a universe of worlds with stories. And that's just going to be one universe. That might take 3, 4, 5 years to build out this one universe, but we plan on having multiple universes with multiple worlds, with multiple stories, all to engage, inspire, and excite you. And so thank you so much for coming along on this journey. By the way, there is no official branding yet right now. I'm just using Times New Roman font and the crystal ball emoji for our logo. So feel free to spam the comments with that crystal ball emoji. That's the logo for now until we get it professionally done. If you guys want to help that and inspire that, start creating logos, send them to me, have some fun with it, and I may use that as some inspiration. So thank you very much. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.